Hey you, I do these as a live thing, but that's because I don't have the recording capacity and one of those laptops that can, or a system that can record everything and film everything at the same time on the same device. So I'm on a laptop, a desktop here, which I'm going to show you a few pictures, and I'm going to film it from my mobile phone and do it as a live event. I'm just going to crack right on because I'm not really doing it in the hopes that people are going to turn up, so much as that people will start to pay attention to this. I did a little video on it the other day. I did one that I'd spent time editing in a proper kind of editing suite and all that stuff, and I lost it, and then the timings were off, and it was like, oh my gosh, so much work. And at the moment, it just works better for me just to hit the live button and start talking. A little bit disjointed, but I'm going to discuss the Trinity Torus model and try and describe again how it's different from the traditional Apple torus. I will just quickly go and give you an example of the Apple torus. There we have one, and basically the typical thinking is that Earth plane is somewhere along here, and that the heart center kind of operates from there. But I think most people would say that's their conception of the electromagnetic human. I have a better example of that here. I think if I can blow that up. Oh, I actually changed pictures. I didn't make it bigger. There's the make it bigger. That's great. How about that? Okay. So that's your typical Vitruvian man as an Apple torus field, electromagnetic field, energy waves coming in, leaving like a crown at the top, and then entering in the root, in the lower chakras at the bottom, like that. Okay, that's the typical thing. Now I'm saying let's say I think that's been put out as, I'd go so far as to say, obviously that's been put out as disinformation. And what this triple torus or three torus model does is it actually causes you to have to reconsider pretty much everything all over again. So it's quite exciting in that way. But the triple torus is much more complicated, and for me it stemmed from looking at this kind of primer field stuff. Guys that were doing research on how primer fields work, where they create two very powerful magnets, and in between of the primer field they note that they can put iron balls, and these will form into sacred geometric shapes every time. I mean, it's just phenomenal to watch. I recommend you go and seek this stuff out. But those balls there will be forming up in shapes, and they even start to rotate. I hope I haven't got that bit wrong, but I think they start to rotate all by themselves. Now, let's start by saying the traditional torus is one apple. I'm starting by saying, well, what if it was two? This example that I've used isn't all that I'd want it to be, but it's good enough to show you the image of an upper torus and a lower torus. I would suggest that they were slightly different shapes, but let's not get into semantics at this point in time. It's really about principle. It may also be fair to say that this red one at the top should actually be at the bottom, and the blue one should be at the top. I think the blue, the light, is the sky, the red is the earth, right? That kind of tends to make sense in that way. So we see the lower chakras, the darker chakras, the lighter chakras are the head. I would also say that we know that negative ions come up from the earth, whilst positive ions are coming in from the sky. So I would say that, and boffins will have to tell me if I'm wrong on this, but that each torus would have its own negative and positive, right? So you would have a positive field here and a negative field here set against a negative field and a positive. So the negative would be repelling or attracting the positive. They would be attractive forces. They would be sucking to each other. Okay, so let's have it like that. Say it like, put it like that for now, and then say that the feminine, the female energy, because this is, I'm going to bring the numbers in here. The feminine is the female energy, and she descends down from heaven, down from above. The masculine, the 6, the lower, the 666, they've gotten rid of the 9, they've gotten rid of the 3, and it's all been about the 666. And that is your earth energy, or your red chakra, your lower chakra energy, and that is spiraling up, I would hazard. Okay, so you got one snake coming up, you got one snake coming down. This is your center line. This is where your aurora borealis activity might be occurring, either up or down. This is where your North Pole would be. Okay. Now, for this model, I'm going to ask your indulgence on the exact shape of things, because we don't know. And I obviously we know that it's not material, and because it's etheric or electrical in its nature, it allows us some overlap. So I'm going to show you some ideas of overlap. This is a logo you'll probably recognize. It's a little bit come out a bit big, but that MasterCard logo, and what have I got else? I got a few other logos that kind of fit the bill. This one I really like because it's got the upper, it's got this upper cup or bowl, and it's got the lower bowl. Okay. It does have this third dimension, or this third element here in between, that's created by that. And I'd like to draw your attention to the open space around it. Okay. What shape is that? That's like a 3, right? You see the 3 there? So, here's another logo that you'll be quite familiar with. There you go. And that logo is incredibly esoteric, by the way. That's very, very esoteric. And we all know that in Freemasonry, the number 33 is extremely significant. So 33 in 33, dang, I've got to go to this, I think. That's not it. 33, we'll get to the peach later. 33 in Freemasonry and in McDonald's has never been shown to me like this, but it did appear to me the other day that it's actually the infinity sign, and hiding within that, because obviously flipping this one way and another would be exactly what you'd be expected to do if you were a high-level Freemason. Everything's inverted, it's all in plain sight, but if you flip it, you do this with it and you do that with it. Here you have the infinity sign, that's the figure 8 from the 2 3s, or from the 3, and you have a central point which is open, a point at which is your sort of ground zero, and 2 open areas which would be your 2 donut-shaped torus fields. So I'm hypothesizing that you have 2 torus fields, the sky positive and the earth negative, and this neutral third force, third element. which is your heart. The earth is the heart. We all know that. And the earth is like, the heart is like an electromagnet. I guess kind of like this. What I want to say is that the accretion disk, that is the earth plane at the center of this, that would be sitting at the center of this, across here. Okay, so now I've shown you the 3, which is also a C. If you take the outline of this, it's the C, and all the way around is the 0. But you've got to have this third element. It's the Trinity, isn't it? And why I'm so fixated, why I take the idea that it's the 3, of course, is because this esoteric creature here has the head, abdomen, and thorax. And the abdomen, you notice with the upper legs, the lower limbs. So that's the bowl at the bottom. That's your 6. That's your 9. And here's your 3, your wings of love that come from the center. And the center of the, I want to do this timing right, this thorax, you see this axe here, which is like that character Thor. I think he uses an axe like this, but it's this kind of axe, right? That shows you the bowl here, and then the central element, which is this third all-encompassing element. And if you've had a DMT experience or something like that with Changa or whatever, you will know that this realm, this place that we're in, is all love, actually. It's all about love, and it's all about sort of the heart. And it may well be that our heart and the quality of our heart and the wellness of our heart is absolutely fundamental to the wellness of the entire structure. I've done this. I've taken these 2 cups, these 2 bowls. So my son helped me with this, but to create I've taken the axe that I showed you earlier on and turned it green and laid it around these 2 bowls. The positive at the top, or the positively sort of focused downwards, and the negative focused upwards. These are your donut toruses. There's an element of space between them in this depiction, but of course things are overlapping. I think things are overlapping and overlaying. I'm going to offer to you as a thought, this is a bit deeper into it, but as a thought, that what we perceive as our impenetrable roof is actually the upper areas of this lower 6. Because then our entire reprogramming has been to get us to focus entirely on the 6, not the 9, not the 3. We've traduced the feminine. We've burned all the thinking women, many of the thinking women, away out of, as much as we could. And we've inflated the masculine, so much so that, this really dominates this entire universe, very much so. Nature will, at some point, I assume, force a reset where the inflation of this has to be reset and this has to be balanced. Or if they get it right, they'll overinflate the feminine over the next century or so. I don't know, maybe that's further down the line. But right now, that's my thinking is that the creation we've made for ourselves is one in which the 6 is is predominant and dominates. And all of our thinking and all of the obelisks are all about recognizing this coming up, things coming up from here. So they travel down, around, and up again, up and down again. And what they're doing when they create a domed building on the flat earth is they're replicating this shape that we're under in order to attract the energy of the opposite above. Change. Well, I'm saying that they're not. They're mimicking the lower Taurus. And and here's another step into mind blowery, right? And that is that if this is right, or if this works, this is like a plasma kind of energy thing. Guys cleverer than me have shown how they can make this work. I don't think they know about the flat earth, but they can show how they can create this sort of plasma field of energy firing this way, but to have it in our universe wrapping around into the torus, being drawn into the torus and pushed down, and similarly down. It means that the edges of our world are actually changing in their material state. Things are getting thinner again, things are getting thicker and harder, which is why we can't penetrate down below 8 miles as per the Kola Deep. So that really is like a massive shift in thinking. And I'm running low on battery already. This does chew through battery, and it forced me to say nice and succinct with you. But look at this, Thor's axe. So the Thor axe is, an important part of this creature that we keep getting shown by our friends who know more than us. Where is that little beetle? Dang, I can't see it right now for a lot of money. But the thorax on the human is here. I'm sure you'll recognize that. So, need I say any more? These are the wings of love coming out of our arms, and from our heart is emanating the life-giving vibration or pulsation or emanation of electrical emanation of our heart. And if that be true, as above, so below, so within and without, we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. It means that the earth is possibly the heart of the system, and that below us is the hell, the Hades, the kind of the dark and the hot and so on, and above us is the cold and the light and the blue. So that really sums up pretty much it. Now look, they used to say the ancient, look, it means that the ancient drawings that we are given, like those conceptions, and I'll go through these in more detail, but those conceptions can be reimagined or re-explained with this, where all of them have been tweaked, so that all they do is they focus on this. They focus on the tortoise, the Taurus. They say, we're sitting on a tortoise or something like that, So that's your lower Taurus, right? In a video I made yesterday, I said the word of a female genitalia. I'm going to break it up. It's clitoris. And if I say it in one word, I think YouTube will censor that. I think that's what they did with that. But that word, if you think about that word as being your lower Taurus, and then you think about Taurus the bull, which we're told is in your head, that's your upper Taurus, and then in your torso, the trunk of the tree, the middle, because you've got the roots at the bottom in the earth, the canopy in the sky, and the bark, the trunk in the middle, which is where the torso and the torus field of the human heart exists. The owl, I think, is a very esoteric creature, and the word bowl, which is like the two bowl magnets we were talking about, hides the word owl. Owl is a creature famous for being able to turn head and body base separately. I think also, if you look at the face of the owl, I think I have an up-close picture of an owl's face here somewhere. The face of the owl, I don't, or just zoom in, is actually also hiding a secret. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Check that out. There's your two bowls, right? and then around this is your threes. You've got your threes, your 2 threes, or your infinity shown here with a hard beak down the center, which is the area that we inhabit, and from which, well, there's some kind of pineal gland with this creature too, but from which everything seems to emanate. So that's kind of my, when they show you X Factor, that's because you are the center of everything. Everything emanates from this. The entire alphabet can be drawn from this, because if you take this X around, you can start doing all the letters of the alphabet. The word God is in here as well, and that's why they Freemasons love their G, because the G is hiding most of the shape of this thing. I want to show you, this is, when people think it's only one torus, well, look, this is the peach, and the fruit peach, right, which is almost identical to this. Yeah, that's like, wow, what a incredible, that's one torus and another torus, centered on that thing that starts with a C and ends with Taurus. Everything, the spider shows us the same thing, with the body, everything coming out, spanning out from the legs. I think nature has got this all over it. Did I show you the Google logo? Did I show you the Google logo? This is the Google logo is hiding again. Is hiding the 6. There's 6 there. There's just 3 6s. But you can also flip around and make it 9. You can also say that there's 3 key colors to it. So the 3, 6, and 9 are encoded in this. The blue of the sky, or we could talk about the ether, and how all of these things are affected. Anyway, so that is my thing. I'm going to keep plugging this, because I think that the secrets are right in front of us as to the nature of the actual universe. And Tesla said, understanding the beauty of 3, 6, and 9 is an important key to understanding the way that the universe works. And I think when I think of that, with the snakes, one going up, one coming down, I think of that, and I think about all the complexity and the variation, you get from the tree roots to the bark, which is the arc, as I've said in other videos, the electrical arc. So there you go. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I really want to just keep pushing this idea that, or getting people to kind of contribute to the conversation on it, because this model, I don't think, gives us enough clues enough truth as to what is how our world works. And that's like an enclosed system, whereas in I don't want to call it my model, but this is a model that I've kind of come to by myself, with some help from people like Bro Sanchez and some of the other fantastic thinkers out there. You know who you are. But this triple torus model is, for me, I've got a drawing of it actually. I will go and have a look at my photos. If you would bear with me, you can just fast forward this if you're not watching in real time. Pictures. I did this, I hadn't shown you this. Look, this is the positive, negative, and nut, okay? Bro Sanchez keeps talking about nut. See, in Kemetic Egyptian theology or teachings, they say that Nut and Gabe are the 2 founding key planks to the universe, and I say perhaps that's not enough. And in an electrical system, there has to be 3. There has to be a neutral Nut, a positive and a negative. And I think that Gabe starts with a G, sounds Gabe. In all the Freemasonic sort of connection to G and God and all that stuff. Does the Gabe as the lesser kind of thing, is that some kind of clever mind play again? Because actually to see the zero, to get this zero, I think you need to have it like this. You need to have this three-part system, the Trinity system. All of nature shows us these three-part systems, and therefore the universe must be a three-part system. And in the neutral, which is where your heart is meant to be, in a neutral heart, not overinflated with the negative shit, the dark shit, and not underinflated or overinflated with this too positive stuff, I suppose. I guess we're meant to be achieving a balance, and a balance and a harmony with nature means that it's a plentiful world, it's an abundant world, it's a loving, caring world. That's what nature does. I'm glad I saw that, because I hadn't shown you that. And it's important to kind of power home this idea that actually I think what we're being told is this idea that it's a two-part, when it has to be three. There has to be the neutral, there has to be the positive, feminine, and there has to be the negative, masculine. The negative is the heavy, the lower, does all the heavy lifting, does all the manual kind of work, most of the manual work. And the positive, feminine, is meant to be doing the thinking. Now, look, there's divine feminine and masculine within each of us. So let's not say that this is all about having women calling all the shots. That doesn't make sense. It's about having men and women in balance with themselves and playing their primary roles, not for that all to be skewed. That everything is six. So this, instead of being the six, instead of being the three, is a six. And six. That's what this 666 nonsense is all about. There's a picture of me. Damn. There's two apples just for, and then in the white space you've got your threes, haven't you? And out of here you've got your accretion disk, you've got your growth disk. I wanted to show you this then as part of that before the battery dies. I wanted to show you this. If we live in some kind of tree, obviously this is more kind of etheric, but I'm showing you a tree in real. Yeah, I'm saying that sitting on top of this is a U-shaped torus, or a donut-shaped torus in the positive, where the positive is down here. It's our blue sky, and beneath this is your negative lower, and then surrounding this is your three. Yeah, I'd like to discuss this, and I'd love to sit around a coffee table and talk this idea through with some folks, and hey, I've got a few people here. Plain truth. Hey, thanks. Oh, you shared that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please share this. Well, I wanted to do a few shorts. I don't know. I want to do a few shorts because this is long and tedious for some people to sit through. So, do a few shorts to try and just catch a few people's attention, because I'd love to put this out there as like another way of conceiving things. Because when I think of this is a month that I've been kind of with this idea, and the more I think about it, the more I think, shit. I listen to other teachers, other people teaching and stuff, and I think, yeah, apply this to that, and that actually helps, I think. Anyway, we'll see. So, and then we had, you know what? I've got glasses here. I'm gonna put these damn things on. Yeah, saw that. I know we had a snag the last time I tried. Yeah, cool, man. All right. Well, I have to. Thanks, mate, Tony. That's really nice of you. That is really nice of you. Yeah. Oh, hi, Esther King. We nice conversation earlier on. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. I will. It's kind of thrown me a little bit off my stride, having actually people here. But as I might have you might have missed at the beginning, it's just only works for me to kind of go live because I don't have the capacity one way or another. I won't bang on about it. I don't have the capacity to kind of pre-record. And I've tried. This is the best that I can do for right now, and it's just fine. What else can I offer you? I think it's so important to just say that it's like these. You're starting with these 2 ball magnets, and you're adding. That's your 9. Okay, this is upside down, and I can get it right. So you got your blue on top and your red below, and you have the 3 centered off of here, the heart. So to kind of close this off, because I don't want to start getting to like the sound of my voice too much. I have said in previous videos, but it's important to restate it here, just to say that there is this 4th element that we all know about. It's called skin, and it's also called electricity, I think, or some sort of electrical arcing that protects the tree from the ether or the outside world, and it protects the skin of the human and other creatures from the outside world. And I think it might be what is the sort of arcing around the outer perimeter of our universe. That's not the best example to use, really. Nor is that, because I've obviously been dissing that, However, you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there is, as I've shown here, you've got the top, the bottom, the 3rd element, and then this 4th element, which has to be like a crust. It has to be a skin, a shell, a Martin Kenny's cosmic egg, But be that as it may, it will be, it'll be this arcing. It'll be some other, and that'll be why we can't travel after a certain distance, is because of this arcing. And I think that actually, as you go downwards, things get denser, and as you go upwards, things get lighter. So make of that what you will, my friends. My battery's nearly dead. I've got to go, and I'll do some more soon. Yeah, and thank you very much for your fantastic support. It means an awful lot to me, really awful lot to me, because, well, I'm sure you're going through your own travails. This has been quite a mammoth journey getting to this point, and a sometimes very lonely, almost seeming fruitless journey. Actually, someone who's on my mind a little bit is Dave from Zoom Truth, and all other activists who are out there doing their thing, who've kind of run into the buffers and found things to be difficult lately. Just, chin up, and well, this is an incredible journey we're on, and it's a real thing. So don't forsake this, and forgive your brothers and sisters, because